Hey guys, I'm Boris. In the last video, I have demonstrated how to code a Spring Boot RESTful service and then build it with the AWS code build. In this video, I will try to deploy it to ECS. I will talk about the following things. I will first introduce some basic information about ECS. I will talk about the ECR, ECS Cluster, and ECS Service. Then I will start to do a demo. I will create an ECS Cluster, ECS Task Definitions, and ECS Service. And finally, I will start the application. Okay, let's go to the ECS Basic. ECS is the Elastic Container Service. It is a fully managed container orchestration service. It helps you to run the Docker containers. You can easily run your application on a Docker container with the help of ECS. The most common use case of ECS is microservice. You can easily deploy loosely coupled microservices on ECS. Batch processing is also another common use case of ECS. You may run batch scheduled jobs in Docker containers. Moreover, some people even use ECS in deep learning. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is the ECR. ECR is the Elastic Container Registry. It is the private Docker image repository for your AWS account. Once you have built a Docker image, you can push the image into ECR or pull it from ECR. This is some sample command to push the image into and pull it from the repository. Okay, let's talk about the ECS cluster. ECS cluster is a logical grouping of tasks and services. You must first create an ECS cluster before you create any services or ECS task, that is the Docker container running your application. Once you have your ECS cluster up and running, you need to have a task running on your cluster. ECS task definition is a JSON format file which describes how to launch the Docker container. It contains some important information about the Docker container. For example, the Docker image name, how much CPU and memory you want to assign for the task, which port should the Docker container running on. Also, the IAM role. That is the ECS task execution role, which grants the required permissions. Next, let's talk about the ECS service. ECS service is responsible for creating the ECS tasks. The ECS services define how the tasks run on an ECS cluster. It maintains a number of ECS task instances to be run simultaneously in an ECS cluster. Well, in this diagram, it shows you the relationship between task, service, and cluster. You can see that multiple ECS services can run on an ECS cluster, and each service can maintain the number of tasks running simultaneously. Okay, let's go to the demo and you will see more details. Okay, it is the AWS Management Console. First, I type ECS here, and then I click the clusters. Okay, we go to the ECS cluster. Again, and click cluster. From here, we need to select custom template. I will not choose networking only because it is for Fargate. I do not want to use Fargate in this demo. I will choose to use EC2 instance type cluster. So I select and then click next step. Okay, we need to first provide the name of the cluster. Okay, for the instance type, I choose T2 micro because I want to stay in the free tier. Okay, I chose one instance. For the other setting, I just accept the first setting. I scroll it down and then click Create button. Okay, after I finished creating the cluster, we can click View Cluster button. We can see that the status is active. Okay, for the next step, we go to the task definitions. We can click to create new task definition. We need to choose the launch type compatibility. I will not choose Fargate, it is for serverless. I will choose the EC2 type to stay in the free tier. Then I click next. You should provide the name. I give the name Math Service Task. Okay, then I scroll it down. And I need to add the container here. So I click the Add Container button. Okay, we should provide the container name. I give it Math Service. Also, we need to go to ECR and copy the URI of the repository. So I type ECR and then go to the Elastic Container Registry. Okay, I find the map surface and then I click copy or paste the URI here. Then I set the memory limit. I set the hard limit to 300. If this hard limit is reached, the service will kill the task. I set the port mapping from port 8080 to port 80. For the other settings, I just accept the default. Then I click Add. Okay, I've added the container and then I click Create. Okay, now I can go to the ECS cluster. I'm going to create an ECS service here. Okay, click on the sample cluster. Then I go to the service tab. I click Create to create a service here. From here, I choose the EC2 launch type here. We should select the EC2 task ECS task definition, which I have created before. You can specify how many tasks to maintain. I just input one for simplicity. For the deployment, I will choose rolling update. And in later videos, I will demonstrate how to perform a blue-green deployment. For other settings, I just accept default. Then I click next step. Well, okay, I think I forget to provide the service name here. So I type map service here. Then I click next. Click next step again. And click create service. Okay, the service has been created. We can click the view service. Okay, we can see that the service is active and it is up and running. Let's go to the task to see the details. We can see that the container is running now. You will see that there is an external link here, and we can test the RESTful service with the Postman. I just copy the link and then I open the Postman. Okay, I paste the link here and then I set the input parameters. For the number 1 and number 2. Number 1 I set to 4 and number 2 I set to 5, and then I test it. Okay, you see the result. It works fine. We can see that the RESTful service is deployed to ECS successfully. And the demo is finished. Okay, that is. I hope you like this video. Well, for the next video, it will be more interesting. I will show you how to do a blueprint deployment to ECS. I will show you how to set the load balancer, the application load balancer, for deployment. Okay, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.